Before we get into the video, I would just like to point out that I am not going to be talking about Lord Nelson's HMS Victory, which is still around today and participated in the Battle of Trafalgar, but instead I am going to be going into its predecessor, which met an untimely fate. In 1726, the first-rate ship of the line HMS Victory is laid down at Portsmouth Dockyard and construction begins on the mighty three-decker vessel. During the construction, a small number of timbers were taken from the previous HMS Victory, also known as HMS Royal James, and used on this Victory, even though the previous one had caught fire and burnt down to the waterline. She was designed and constructed under the 1733 proposals for a 100-gun first-rate ship of the line, and this was the only first-rate to be constructed under these proposals. She cost Great Britain £38,239 to assemble and £12,652 for fitting it out as the flagship. When she was launched in 1737, she became the flagship of the Channel Fleet under Admiral Sir John Norris. HMS Victory was the last British first-rate to be entirely armed with bronze cannons. In 1744, after Admiral Sir John Balkin relieved Admiral Sir Charles Hardy, who had been blockaded by the French Brest fleet in the Tagus estuary, he set course to take the fleet back to England. As the fleet reached the English Channel, it was scattered by a large storm, and the ships accompanying Victory lost sight of her near the Channel Islands. Frigates were dispatched across the Channel to search for Victory. Eventually, Captain Thomas Grenville of HMS Falkland landed at Guernsey for supplies and heard from the locals that wreckage and part of a topmast had washed up, and after further investigation it turned out to be from Victory, and from them on it was believed for 260 years that the ship was wrecked during the night on Black Rock, with the loss of her entire crew in 1744. In 2008, the wreck of Victory was found in the Channel more than 80 kilometers from where she was thought to have gone down. Along at the wreck, bronze cannons were found with King George II's insignia on them. A few cannons and artifacts have been raised and can be found on display at Portsmouth Historic Dockyard. The ship is now believed to have been overcome by the storm and to have been dragged down by the waves with all of her crew aboard. And there is the tragic story of HMS Victory, the predecessor to Nelson's Victory. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, goodbye.